Hi guys, you're back with Mr. Canada, and today we're going to look at dividing in standard form. So, we're following the same kind of rules we did with multiplying, and we're going to treat our numbers a little bit separately. So, what I mean by that is, I'm going to divide these two numbers once, and then I'm going to divide these two using the law of indices. So, sometimes it's easier to see that why we can do this by writing them in kind of algebraic form and getting rid of this inside division sign. Because really we have 8 times by 10 to the power of 6. Sorry, 10 to the power of 6. And we're going to divide that by 2 times 10 to the 3. Right? So we can just opt to do this, divide these numbers and divide these numbers because we're in the same area of our bid mass. Right? Division and multiplication come in a pair, so we can do them at the same time. Okay, so how exactly can we do this? Well, just as I said, we're going to do our front. So 8 divided by 2 is 4, and then step 2, we're going to divide them using the law of indices. Well, laws of indices say, well, if we divide two things with the same base, so they're both base 10, then we subtract their indexes. So 6 minus 3 is 3. So let's look at a little bit more challenging one. We have some decimals, right? So here we have 6.4, and we're dividing it by 2.2, and we have our indices, right? So sometimes when you do these, you're going to actually have to do some longer division. So what I'm going to do is 64, and I'm going to divide that by 22. So 22, that's 44. Okay, so that goes in 2 times, right? So 44. I often opt to do long division just because I can see my working out a little bit better. If you do short division, that's completely fine. So same thing. So we have 22, 44, 66, 88, and you just keep going. You just have to keep adding on that 22. So we get 90, 110, 132. What is that? 154, 176. Oh gosh, 176, 178, 198 is 9 times, I believe. So, and then I think this is just going to keep repeating. So 2.9. Right? Going to just quickly check on the calculator just to make sure so we can continue. Sorry, I checked. I actually forgot to put my 10 there. So, yes, and then it would just repeat. So, we can just leave it as 2.90. So here we're going to have 2.90, and then we're going to go times 10. We have negative 8 minus 3, so negative 8 minus 3 is negative 11. And then lastly, example 3. So here, I'm going to do a little trick with division. So my 1.55 I'm going to do is 155. So how many times does 155 get split by 5? Right? So if we know it, 5 goes into 120 times. So then it's 30 times for 150, so 31. Okay? But we know that this is actually going to be here. Right? Because we know that if we took out this and moved at the beginning to make it 155, we have to put it in at the end. Okay, so we have 0.31 then, and then we're doing times 10, and then here we have negative 2 minus negative 5. So that's actually going to result us in positive 3, right? Because we're going to have positive 5 minus 2. So we get 3. Keep in mind, if you see your answer come out like this, though, you have to fix it. So here, we are going to move it 1 to the right. So we're going to have to knock off 1. Is it knocking off, or is it getting bigger? Is it getting smaller? This is what I want you to check, right? So keep in mind the way we move it. So we knock it off, and we're going to write 3.1 times 10 to the 2. which is also 310. But typically, unless otherwise, I would just leave it in terms of standard form, unless they say expressed as an ordinary number. Right? So